What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? It's Coach K here, and we're all ready to start another weekend, or for the weekend wrap up. What's gonna happen this weekend? It should be really a fun one. I think we're gonna have a really positive outlook on this weekend. Last weekend, I'll admit I was wrong. I thought we would definitely have a retrace at some point. And test and then come back up, but we didn't. So that was really interesting. If you're watching this right now, before we get into all the meat and potatoes of everything, do me a favor, click the subscribe, smash up some likes, hit the bell, share this on Facebook, wherever you're watching right now. Do me a favor, get this out. I have a lot of really good information today, and I'm going to do some analysis on where Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB will probably be going, and not talk about Libra, because if you watched yesterday, we went deep into what's going on with Libra and how I'm not really a big fan of Libra and what they're doing, because they're not really a cryptocurrency. And yeah, that's basically what we'll leave it at for today. So just give me a second. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to share this myself. Well, you guys should do the same thing. So go on your Twitter, your Facebook. All you guys got to do is click on there, load up your phone, click the subscribe or share button, and share it to some people that would find this video interesting and useful. So we've been telling you guys for a long time, hey, you know, what's going to happen right here is we're going to have a lot of this bullish movement, and all these things are going to happen, and it's going to be really great. And a lot of people didn't listen, and I'm sure you guys know some of them that didn't, and that's okay. People didn't have to listen to us. Right now, a good question for any of you guys watching on Facebook or YouTube: how many of your friends have hit you up in the last couple days and asked you, how do I get into Bitcoin? When it gets to a point where your friends start telling you to get into Bitcoin, or start telling their friends to get in Bitcoin, that's the time where you're like, all right, you might want to think about it a little bit deeper. That's the time when generally we see the market start to flip up a little bit, if you might say. And so, yeah, this is just something to keep in mind. It's really important. So the things that we're going to talk about today is Arthur Hayes last Sunday, in my time, said that they're going to be, there's going to be this weekend pump that just keeps happening based off of the CME close. We're going to have these gaps. The gap this week didn't fill. That's something super interesting to note, that we had a gap in the market, but it didn't fill. Now, what a CME gap is when the close of the market leaves a gap. So when it closed, it was at 8,800, let's say, and then it opens and it's at 95. Usually that will fill. That didn't happen. Neil, nice to see you. Axel, nice to see you guys on the show today. We're going to go over a full recap today. So anyone watching that would like to ask questions or want to know what's going on in the market, or have a couple coin review or coin analysis that they would like, please do drop in the notes there, and we'll get started. So I'm just got a couple more things to do right here, and then we'll get started. So yeah, really interesting week this week. Where are we going is a good question. Some people have asked me, are we going to 10K? Yes, we are. I hope you guys have got your moon rockets on, because we're definitely going to be pushing that 10K envelope over the weekend. I'm quite sure. So how you guys feeling? Right beside me right here, this is how you felt during 2018, and this is how you feel right now. You've been feeling like, yeah, bags aren't so bad to be carrying. Things are going to get better. I mean, with alts, maybe not, but with Bitcoin and with even XRPs up from 2017, lots of them. So, I bought my wife, this is a really funny story, I bought my wife a portfolio in November 27th of 2017, and we just looked at it like yesterday. And she was like upset when she looked at it. I said, what happened? And she said to me, Joel, I'm not up that much. I said, well, you're up. She's like, yeah. I'm like, how much are you up? And she's like, well, I'm around, I think she said I'm around 10 or 11% up. And I was like, wait. So you're telling me that I bought you something from 2017 November, end of November 2017, and you're still up? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, and you're upset about that? And she's like, shouldn't I be? I'm like, no, you profited from 2017 till now. Hodling was the greatest thing ever because you were down like 60% at one point. And she's like, oh, it was a pretty funny situation. Andre and Jamal, nice to see you guys. So let's jump in to a couple things that you're going to start to see right now. Good question, Lily. Am I still in Litecoin? Yes, I'm still in Litecoin. It's not really moved up or down since 130, 135-ish. It's 130, 140. That range has been kind of sticking there. So I'm waiting to see if we have a little pump before we might correct. But if the whole market moves up, I expect Litecoin will not stop and have what I expected to have, that retrace like it did in 2015. So here's something interesting. Andreas said that he's starting to get this IEO, ICO. I'm a marketer, I'm an endorser, I'm an advisor. People who've never been in the industry before, they're going to come and they're going to help you make your IEO the greatest thing ever. And I'm dealing with people like this all the time. They offer you money. They say, yeah, we'll give you 25,000, 250,000, endorse us, review us, tweet us. And obviously, Andreas being him, he says like, hell no, get away. But there's a lot of scams coming right now. So if you have people like, you want to get an Elrond, there was a huge scam. You want to get an Algorand, there was a huge scam. Lots of ICO pools with reputable reputations have been getting scammed. Why? Because these people come out and greed rules everything, as always. So be effing careful, okay? Be really, really careful. There's going to be a lot of bad actors that come out of the woodworks. Remember the people that have been here the longest. Trust those that have actually been here. That's not just me. That's a lot of us. Trust those people and ask us to see us on film. Don't just say like, oh, it's Joel, it's cool. People have changed my Telegram ID to like with a capital and stuff like that. So be really careful. Do not get scammed in this year. It could happen. Now, really big really big. MetLife planned to disrupt a $2.7 billion in insurance industry using Ethereum blockchain. One thing you may or may not know, the companies that are billion-dollar companies, they made a list on Google. There's 50 companies. You can look that up. And into those 50 companies, 3 of them are the biggest insurance companies in the world. One of them being MetLife, one of them being ING, and the other one I cannot remember, just slipped my head. But doesn't matter. Go look at the list and you'll find them. But basically, 3 insurance, and it might even be 4 of the biggest billion-dollar companies that are using blockchain are in insurance. Why? Because it's transparent. We can see things. If you got in an accident and all that stuff is record on a public ledger, people cannot cheat the system. And there's many other reasons as well. So this is why it's really big, because if you put $2 billion even in the market right now, it makes a difference. You put $1 trillion in the market right now, it goes 4x. So it's really, really big. Now, nice to see you, Matthews, Andre. You guys ask questions if you have any questions about the market at all. Don't be hesitant to interrupt me at all, okay? So the value of blockchain, they're starting to realize that distributed ledger technology is very valuable, and it's something that they should be looking into even more. And I mean, this is stuff they should have already known anyways. Next really big thing, Elrond. Binance came out yesterday, just like CZ said after he did his interview, and said that Binance would be doing, I don't know what that tweeting sound is. Stupid bird. But they said that Binance will be doing a IEO, and the IEO had a low cap, and it ended up being Elrond. Now, I had a chance to get in Elrond, but what I realized was their vesting period was like crazy long. And now the people that did get in Elrond have a really, really long vesting period. So it's like 2 years or something, kind of like Harmony, how they've done it, which is good for the companies. Like, they're not going to have people dump on them, which is really 2017. It's like a maturity thing. And I think Binance is doing a good job for not letting that happen. And so Elrond's going to come out and they're going to launch. They have, obviously, you're going to have to hold BNB. So we're going to look at BNB a little later and show you how that's actually affected the market positively. Another thing is right now, actually right this second, they have the Blabber IEO. So you guys know I'm an advisor to Blabber. I've done a video with the CEO, Michael, and right now they're having their IEO. I'm just going to check quickly to see if they've actually closed it. Right now they're 25 minutes in and they are 92% sold. So that'll be sold out in a couple minutes, I'm sure, which is beautiful. Great project. Oh Hey Maddie did a really good review of it as well. We brought him on. And so, yeah, they're on IDEX. You can get in right before the end if you want to. I'm not saying this is a financial advisor, but it's a really cool project which uses location devices, location area where wherever you go, your device finds things that are in your own location. So instead of using like Twitter and Facebook where like you go anywhere and it doesn't really tell you what's there, the difference between that is their app will let you travel to Spain, and all things from Spain, whether it be a marketplace of goods you can buy, anything will be on your phone where you are. And you'll be able to turn that thing on and off as well, but it's something very interesting. So that's started right now. They only have an $800,000 market cap. So it's pretty big. Elrond, obviously, we have the lottery for Binance, which is $300 per ticket. You have to hold BNB, as we all know. And Gate IEO is doing something really interesting where they're going to have Cosmos for 50% off, which is really interesting. And another one that's really I'm bullish on is WireX. So as we know, many people have a WireX card. WireX are pretty good. They make it easy to spend your crypto. So this is also something quite interesting, and these are all top 7 IEOs. And here's another really interesting thing. On Bitstack, they're going to have their first IEO being MetaLot, which is quite an interesting one. It's a lot of interesting stuff when you put medical stuff on the blockchain, and it's also quite interesting because having medical on the blockchain does have its challenges. So I wonder how that's going to end up going up. Nice to see you, JJ, Yap, Eric. Great seeing you guys on here. Anyone on YouTube, say hi. It'd be really great to see you. Now this is a really interesting thing from last week. Now this happened on the weekend, last weekend. That's the 16th of June, and that's my time, which is Sunday afternoon. So Arthur Hayes came out and said last week, basically like, if you buy on the weekend, it's gonna go up. And I mean, we've seen this happen several times. I've seen this happen several times myself. On the weekends, we generally pump. Why? I'll give you a couple of reasons. Number one, the stock market's been pretty trash for a while. Number two, big reason, Forex traders cannot trade on the weekend. So they pull their money out and they put it into the crypto market and they trade. That's why we sometimes see the market fall a little bit on the Mondays. But obviously with Bitcoin being so bullish lately, these traders may not go full back into Forex. They may keep some in crypto, and stock traders might keep some in crypto as well. And we're starting to see some types of flippening, not really on a big scale, but on a smaller scale in some countries as well. So he's calling it ROO, wrecked on open. So it's something that's the key to most. So if you shorted over the weekend, for example, and you left it closed, that's what it looks like. So if you shorted on the weekend, it would say stuck. This would be delayed, right? So it would say it close right now. It'd be 98.90. If this dropped really heavily and you were in a long, you would get wrecked instantaneously. If you shorted this level and it went to 20K, you would obviously get wrecked. So he's talking about wrecked over the weekend. So that's really interesting. Now, another thing that's really cool is even though this isn't showing you that it's hit $300 billion, we actually just crossed $300 billion on coin market cap at very least. And this is a total market cap. So this is not a coin. This is the actual whole entire market cap. And as we can see, it's been on an absolute tear. But what's really interesting is when you open up Bitcoin. So if we open up Bitcoin and we look at it, it looks pretty similar, doesn't it? So as we see, people have talked about decoupling from the markets. Not really, guys. There is no decoupling from the market right now because crypto and Bitcoin are like all together. No matter, people say cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. It's not really true, but Bitcoin definitely does run the show. Okay, so let's just look at our Ichimoku here. And, we can open up some fractal levels and see where we're going. So we're definitely on an uptrend as well on the 4-hour. And, the last, we've been definitely smashing through targets. So our fractals just keep getting higher. We had this little one down here. We bounced off at that $8,800, $8,900 and $9,000 level 3 different times, like a triple bottom, almost one after the other. And then we started to see this upward trend start happening, from the 18th to the last 3 days. So where is Bitcoin going is a really big question a lot of people have. Well, if we look at our beautiful bright future right here, we got a nice green cloud. So generally it's going to go up is what that means. Right here we have our Kijin, which is you know, it's in actually a really good position right here, but oh, what did I just do there? Sorry guys, 1 second. But what it means is we could come all the way back down to 87, 82, but I really don't see that happening. If we scroll in, we could see more of a shorter term one. So if we look at our Kijin on the shorter term, we would look at if we did come down bouncing off like 9,300, and we could have a Tenkan bounce to at 95.63. So those are two really very possible outcomes that could happen over the weekend. We also see a little bit of resistance from the fractals here, but they're still going up. And yeah, I think we're doing really well. We're above the 200 EMA, so we're definitely on an uptrend. And right here, you can see the Chiku span. We're still above it a little bit in the last 26 periods. So we're looking really good. Now, any questions about that, just throw them in there. Now let's look at Ethereum, because it is on an absolute tear. A tear and a half, if you might say. This morning I got this buy signal because of the TK cross that happened. So this is a pretty cool it's a cool indicator that just kind of shows you Ichimoku and TK crosses. And right down here we have this WADA, which is a really cool indicator for volume. So you saw that it closed, but then what it did is it came down like it always does and starts to test it came down and started to test the Kijin, right? Now it stayed silent and not really moving, and then the perfect entry would have been once we closed above. So you might have gone in there, but it doesn't really matter if you got in there or you got in on this close here. We had this nice cross, we went flat. Once we started to see that the Tenkan started to move up, it started to look quite bullish for us to get into that trade. So we could have probably got in here, and had you got in there this morning, you'd be up 6%. And if you're trading on something like BitMEX, that could have been 60%, 120%, etc. Now, it's really beautiful to see that. Ethereum will probably be pushing up way above where we're at right now. And if we go on to a larger time frame, which we should always do when we're trading, we can look at the swing low to the swing high, and let's see where we're gonna go. Oh, let me just do this on. Let's see where we plan on hitting our next targets. So I'm targeting right now about 300 over the weekend, but targets based off of Fibonacci, we're looking around 290. We're at 293. We're looking at 311, 334. I've left out some of the different. I've left out some of the other indicators. We could put them on actually. Just have a look. You can just have a look right here. Let's turn these other guys on. Okay, so let's take a couple looks. So yeah, we're looking at 311, 320. I'm thinking more around the 311 range over the weekend, and we will pump this weekend probably, very likely, very probably, because of our nice cloud here. We have this beautiful cloud. It's showing us that we're still bullish. We're trading above the cloud. We're bouncing off the Tenkan and moving up further. And our fractals, we're not breaking them down. We're keep going up. So we're showing these levels here. You can see they just keep going up, not down. So we're not breaking those levels. That's great. Now another one is BNB. This is kind of expected to happen here, where, you know, BNB had this positive news after this really negative news on Friday last week, which drove us really far down and out of the, you know, we were at an all-time high basically versus BTC, and we drove down. Now, this is not always the most accurate way to do this, so you should look at BNB versus USD. Now, that shows it a little bit better because we're in an all-time high range at $38 right about now, and I could see $40 breaking, guys. So BNB is very bullish regardless of this US stuff or not. That's why I bought more at $30. That was when I was looking at right here. It got down to $29.68. I put a buy order at literally $30. Told all my friends $30, $31. I put a couple buy orders in, and yeah, it just bounced right off the MA, basically the MA 200 MA went from, this was just people panic selling basically on that 4-hour candle. Then we started to come back up, and we're now on an uptrend again with all this positive news of Binance DEX and so on. So question is, I think we hit 10K and then we go down to 7.5, but I'm not a trader or whatever. This is just what I take into consideration. Yeah, we definitely are looking like we're going to need a correction, but Let me give you a reminder of 2017. What happened in 2017, guys? Does anyone remember? We kept saying it can't go higher. It can't go higher. Oh, it can't go higher. Oh, it definitely can't go higher. But what did it do? It went higher, higher, and higher. Here's what I want you guys to take in consideration, very much so. Hey, Richard, how you doing, brother? One thing you need to take in consideration very seriously is this. If we start seeing the whole entire market go green, which we very well might see this happen, we see a lot of green in the market. We're not seeing a lot of that at all, actually, in our regular, coins that we call poop. So yeah, we're not seeing it there, but we're seeing it in our top projects. And as I said before, if we look at the past, we always see pumps go into the top 10 first. Then we see smaller coins or mid-cap coins and small cap coins. You're going to see Bitcoin and Ethereum lead the way. They are. But you might see Bitcoin Cash and EOS and Litecoin, XRP, TRX, ADA. Those are also going to probably follow it. But when you get this feeling of like, yeah, it's so awesome, never going to go down, all that. When you start feeling like that, do yourself a favor, check yourself before you wreck yourself, and take some profit. This is not financial advice. This is something that if you don't do it, you'll feel like I should have. So don't do what you said. And if you've been in since 2017 and you're new to this game, or you're not new to this game, don't let what happened in 2018 happen again. When you go up, take a little bit of profit. For example, I was in an XBT long right here, right before we had this huge dump, okay? So I got into a long right around this level. I was thinking it was like 92, 92.50, 92.85 or something around that line. So I was in here thinking that we're just going to dip and continue on up, but we didn't. And I set my stop loss right below on a larger time frame, right around this fractal, which was 88.75. It was like, I think I had mine at 88.89. We almost touched that, but we didn't. So I almost got stopped out. Check this out though. I didn't get stopped out, and today, when I woke up this morning and I saw we were at 9,700, I sold at 97.23 this today, and I was up 100, like a 97 or 100%, something in that range, after almost being stopped out. So another really important thing is trust your trade. Don't go against what you're learning. Okay, so if you feel like, oh no, it's gonna keep going up. Do you think I'm worried about it being $9,800 when I got out at 9,723? Some of you would be, but no, I took profit. I made 2 times the amount of money that I had from that trade. So why would I be upset to try and get, maybe if it goes up higher, great. But I would look for a retrace and then get back in. And if it doesn't retrace and it's showing really bullish momentum, I might just get back in anyways. But what's the point of trying to catch a few more dollars and then getting the opposite happening, right? And then you go back down to 96. So it's really good and really important to do that. Oh, XRP, great. Ricardo, nice to see you. Good morning. What's my prediction for XRP and VET? All right, so XRP, as I've been telling you guys, we're waiting for October. I know stuff that's going on within XRP. It's still going to go up. So that's the thing, like in dollar value, it's going to go up. You against Bitcoin though, with Bitcoin being so bullish, it's going to definitely take hits like it has been. I mean, we can go back and look, on the 4-hour, this was at 8,000 in March, right? This is 8,500 sats. If you look at how much it's lost in sat value to today, it's 47%. It's nothing small. Has it lost anything in US dollar value? No, but what the whole point that we're trying to do here is trade in for more Bitcoin. But if you are trading for more USDT, you would have been fine. You're not going to complain about the opposite. Here's look at the opposite here. Let's look at our opposite. So, you may have lost a little. Yeah, we opened in March around, wait a minute, that can't be, that's Tether. Sorry, hold on a sec. In March, so let's go to March here. So March, we were right down here. Here's March. There we go. May, April, May, March. Where are we? Here we go. So we're down here. We were at 31 cents. So you'd be happy being up here, right? But technically, you shouldn't be happy at that 42% raise. If you left it in Bitcoin, it would have gone higher. That's what you have to think. Predictions for XRP is a good question. I think we'll go up to 50 cents or so. Let me just check here. Just give me 1 second here, and I'll tell you where I think we're going to go with XRP. But yeah, I don't expect it to really move. It's really hasn't. I mean, it's really hard to even look for a swing high to swing low. So we're looking around that 786, and it kind of bounced off that. So I mean, the next levels you're gonna look at, but again, we have this forecast of this cloud is negative. It's bearish, very bearish, and this big cloud. So it's a lot of movement to go. It could go edge to edge, move in through it and up, but you know, it's not really looking that great. I mean, just to get to the top of the cloud is only 5%, so it's a little bit of a higher risk trade. And we could get up here again, you know, but I don't think so. If Bitcoin runs, this is going to continue going down. So remember, Bitcoin goes up, this will go down. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Bitcoin goes up, that one will go down. I don't think it's going to outdo it. Okay, hi, nice to see you, Troy. Karen, nice to see you. It's been a while. Hope you're doing really well. How's the UK? So these are all these things that you should take in mind. Now, another thing to also keep in mind when we're looking at VET. That's one of those ones that had, okay, so we talk about risk versus reward. I'll show you guys something in a second here. All right, so VET. Okay, let's look at where VET's gone. VET had a double bottom, basically. It was looking like a double bottom, and it went up, and then it came back down. So that's a trade from a while ago. Let me just turn off this indicator so you guys can see it a little bit better, and just turn on a regular Ichimoku cloud here. Oh, I think that's the wrong setting. Oh, so here, oh no, that's the right setting. Okay, so turn on regular Ichimoku and let's look at it. So risk to reward. Right now, our risk to reward on VET is beautiful because one reason, it's literally never been this low ever. VET has never gone this low in its history. Okay, it's literally at the very bottom. What we know about VET is this. XRP is a shitcoin. Yeah, Steven. MoneyGram though is gonna definitely help it out. They bought a competitor, so we'll see. It's they didn't buy it, but they invested in a competitor so that, and MoneyGram does use about $10 billion. I think it's a week or something like that. They have a lot of money in there. But yeah, I don't completely disagree with you. I think XRP's got a lot of competition with Facebook coming up, but we'll have to wait and see. So VET, risk reward, amazing coin to get into at this point, in my opinion, because there isn't even a way to like see where it's going. It's just like it's literally at its bottom. So you know, the sky is the limit for VET. Now if we look at support and resistance levels on the daily, you know, it has to get through the cloud first, which is negative and bearish. So but even just to get to the cloud, be 105 sats. Now if we look at a possible trade, so let's say you're trading just to get to the span of the cloud, even though we're in a downtrend. So this is like one of those ones I wouldn't buy right now, to be completely honest. It's not a really good position to buy in. You would wait for a TK cross, then get in, and then if this is still really big red cloud, I wouldn't get in anyways. But if you're looking to buy and hold, we know that they have a ton of partnerships that have already been confirmed to use their actual technology. They have companies like Bosch. They have companies, I believe, like Adidas or someone is using, I think it was Adidas, someone is using to track the shoes. So to, oh my God, what's it called again? My brain is pulling a blank here. It's called when you move something to another place. I can't remember the name. It doesn't really matter. It totally slipped my mind. That's the word of it. The word it's called, but yeah. Supply chain. Thank you. Okay, it came back to my head. So XRP is a shit coin. What's not a shit? What look at Ripple's done made so far? Yeah, I agree. Mercedes, BMW. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Mercedes, BMW, lots of different partnerships, but it's not even that. Like, it's the fact that VET is a real company with real backing and use case. And they're a supply chain that will be used by many. Maybe not right away, but it will be used by many. It's a very strong project with a good team, good backing. These are the things you look for in a project if you're going to invest. You don't invest in a coin you don't even know what it is because you think it'll moon. Not a good idea, just so you know. Okay. Now let's look at something right here. Looking at where we could go with VET. So risk reward, we use this tool right here. We look at, okay, right here is our risk reward. So I might try to get to the edge of this cloud. If you wanted to enter this trade, you could try to get to the edge of the cloud and maybe do like a 10% stop loss because you don't know how much lower it will really go. I don't think it would go very much lower. So we could do something like this where our risk reward is 2.5 to you know, it's 2.5. So if I bought this trade, I'm getting 2.5 times if I get to the top of that trade. So that's not a horrible thing, but also you need to see, I need to see some better I need to see something else here, because this is just super bearish. It's flattening out a little bit on the shorter time frame. We go to a 2 hour, it's still flattening out. Maybe on the hourly, it might show us something a little bit better. Let's check. It's still flat, in a downtrend. So yeah, I wouldn't go in this trade at all. I wouldn't even touch it, to be completely honest. And yeah, it's just not looking so. Stay away from bet at this point. I would wait for a reversal, and right now we don't have one. Stay away. Gotta get up, kids. Watch gym 6:45. All right, Troy, have a great day, brother. Hope you're doing really well. So those are all the things that I wanted to show you guys. This is something I want to show you as well. We're outside the cloud. We had a TK cross. I believe we had a TK cross. Let me just go back to my normal indicator here. So what's Binance looking like? Looking pretty nice. TOADAY, it's got a sell signal on here because the TK crossed back down. But on the longer time frames, which are always more accurate, so if you're ever trading, guys, larger time frames equal more accuracy. Right now, we're about to have another TK cross here for the upside, but I wouldn't enter this trade yet until this closes. If what we have right here closes on the 4 hour, right there, we have a 3 inside up, which is a very bullish move. So if this closes above this candle, which closed at 37,363, so if this candle closes above 37,363, that's a 3 inside up, and I would expect it to definitely try to touch the edge. It's going to test the edge of this cloud here. That could be quite an interesting trade, especially with the fundamental side of what's going on with Binance. It could try to push through that cloud. So something to keep your eyes on. It would not, it's not a really strong cloud, so that's also really important that it's not very strong resistance. So we'll have to wait and see, but it's looking like it wants to do something like that over the weekend as well. Keep your eyes on it. Bitcoin to 10K. Interesting. What's going on with CDT? Blocks. I know the guys from Blocks, actually. What's going on there? Whoa, it's got some definite 3 inside up move in there for sure. Nice, man. So yeah, CDT Blocks is it's looking really nice right here. So it had that 3 inside up. It's a perfect example. Good eye, Steven. Thanks for pointing that one out. So 3 inside up. This one closed above, and generally when they close above, they start to move up. We have a Kumo twist that just happened right there. So if you can't see that, just take a look. Kumo twist is when we go from bearish to bullish. Oh, I did it again. My fingers are fat. At least I don't do that when I'm trading. that would cost me a little bit of money. So we had this Kumo twist, which means we went from bearish to bullish, and then we switched up and we had this 3 inside up. That's a really good looking chart right there, Steven. Good eye. And so on the daily, it doesn't look like anything crazy. It actually looks quite bearish on a long term, but on a short term trade for the 4 hour, that definitely could have some nice movement, probably up to, let's see, where do you think you're going to go, Steven? Swing low to swing high. Let's check it. We definitely could go all the way up to this 1.8 range and beyond. I'll do as well a here. So our next moves would be to 149, 159, and then 171, etc. onward. So will we get there? I don't know, but this coin does have this pump and dumpy type of feeling to it. So that's what's up. Yeah, Patrick, I just like took it all off. I was like, no more hair, shaved my head, even bicked it. If you guys know what bicking it is. Beam's not on here, unfortunately. I can't check it, but I know what you were talking about. Beam and Grin both had some really nice movements. I think we can show Grin on here. Over the last week, very nice movements, like 100 something percent, 200%, and now it's coming back. Now here's what you can look for, guys, on this trade. So it broke through the Tenkin, it broke through the Kujin. The next level of support would be on the cloud right here, so that's something to keep in mind and look for as well. The cloud would be the next level of support, and if we look on a longer time frame, we might have even better idea. So again, on the longer time frames, they're always more accurate. So we could definitely come and test these. They're already flat, so it might come down, test this, and then move back up. And we'll see where it goes. And this is 3 inside down right here, which is another good example of what that looks like. So 3 inside down, we have a bearish candle, a bullish candle, and a bigger bearish candle. Oh, sorry, no, that's not a 3 inside down. Sorry, my bad. This is a 3. That's a 3. That would not be a 3 inside down. I'm wrong. Sorry, guys. IOTA. All right, let's check out IOTA. We got Steven on the charts today. Ooh, IOTA. What are you doing here? Got a nice sell signal. It's got a bearish TK cross right there. Let's look on a shorter time. It's definitely having it's hooking back up. I see what you're seeing, Steven. We have this, it's not really a 3 inside, but it's trying to push its way back up into some type of existence. Been definitely on a really downtrend for pretty much years. So it's been like, I don't remember the last time I saw IOTA in a positive light. Let's check. Basically just gone on down since it's got its bottom in November 2017, right back into the. So I would look for Steven. I would actually look for this double bottom here. I mean, it kind of came up, tested, came up. Now it's going beyond where it tested. I would look to actually, if I was going to enter this trade, somewhere around this range right here. So if you're looking to enter a trade on IOTA, keep your eyes around this range right around here. Be between 39.24 and 41.29, where I would look to. Do I look at Digibyte? Oh yeah, DGB, man, I love that coin. Haven't checked it out for a while. It's been on a downtrend last time I checked. Oh yeah, it's been on a downtrend, hasn't it? But here's something interesting. I mean, it's kind of touched once, touched twice. So let's see where she goes. It's got a double bottom on it right now, actually. But it doesn't seem like that double bottom played out really nicely a daily anyway. Okay, so Digibyte's definitely on a downtrend. The EMA is, you know, it's below the EMA. The cloud is bearish, so on the shorter term outlook is not very good. But again, I would look to get in on a double bottom somewhere around this range in there, which would be between 136 sats and 131. Somewhere in that range it will bounce. So I'm thinking you're still buying BTC is what I mean. I'm in terms of buying absolutely. Oh, TNT, that was a really good one as well. XRP is looking good. I mean, just depends on when you're looking at it, what time frame. But yes, on the dollar value, it does. Still looking to buy and hold these prices. Me, Danny, yeah, I'm holding my BTC until we see a breakdown in structure. I did sell my my long in BTC at 97 or something around that range. I can't remember exactly, but yeah. And then TNT, that one kind of hit us all by surprise, but it's got a really strong team, and Tiki Tiwara was just saying a little bit ago. But here's the problem I have with TNT. It's turned into this pump and dump coin. I mean, I made on a trade, you can ask anyone in the Athena chat group, we made 200% on one trade. 220% of that we made on one of our trades last month. It was just silly. And then, you know, the start of June, it did like a 30, and right now in the last 24 hours it's done something like another 50% trade. So it's pump and dumpy. You know, when it drops down to that rock bottom area again, where it keeps coming to this you see how many times the fractals had support? 1, 2, 3 times. So if it drops down again there, you could look to enter on the bottom of this cloud potential on the 4 hour, sorry. And on the daily, seeing similar things like it double bottomed here, so that might be it. That might have been its double bottom. 1 pumped, 2 it pumped. We'll see. I mean, this happened all in a couple weeks. So see, right now it's showing a sell signal. Seeing a sell signal. That's something interesting. But and then again, we can always look at this shorter time span. Yeah. We had a buy signal yesterday, so if I was looking at the 2 hour on TNT, potentially bought it, but I wouldn't have bought this because of one reason. We'd be underneath the cloud, and I would wanted to wait till it went into the cloud. So I'm very likely, if I was trading on this, I would have went on an edge to edge. So I would have traded. It looks like this one closed here. I very likely would have got in on that candle there and looked for the edge to edge trade, which should have been 8%. Then, you know, you get lucky sometimes and got in there, get 4%. So it's just how it works. Harmony's a really good project, guys. I know Andrew Lee personal friend of mine. He's really great. Oh, Enigma, Steven, you know I love my Enigma. uh, BCN BTC. I don't like that project, to be honest. It's Bytecoin is one of the oldest privacy coins in the whole entire market, but I find that other ones like ENG, for example, are doing really well. Then look at that head and shoulders pattern. Wow. So one had a absolute perfect on the 2-hour head and shoulders pattern. And if you guys don't know what a head and shoulders pattern is, this is a really good educational time to learn what it looks like. Look at that head and shoulders. Bam, 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 bam. Perfect head and shoulders. Look at that. It didn't perfectly, but it doesn't matter. It's a perfect head and shoulders. We see that left shoulder is higher than the right shoulder, and generally we see when we have such a perfect head and shoulders, we're gonna go down. So that happened. One, I would wait to see some type of reversal. Right now, there is no reversal, even on the shorter time span. So don't touch one right now. Wait first. Wait a little bit longer. Don't want to spam, but did you keep your BTC hold position until you see a change, or do you have a position that you won't? I have BTC that I hold, guys, long term, and it won't sell, and I have BTC that I trade, and so yeah, with things like BitMEX and stuff, yeah, I do, and I have some on my Trezor that I don't touch at all and just leave it, like I did with my wife's account, which was positive, so that was good. Oh, you got on the GBP USD sell today. Nice, Steven. That's awesome. Man, I don't trade much Forex because, it's hard enough to keep up with crypto and all the stuff I'm doing with advising projects like Blabber. Veracity, guys, is the one I've been advising since 2018. It just got on Binance Dex. So lots of really cool stuff's happening. Check out Unification, guys. It's one of those projects that's gonna be, you look at Dragon Chain, they raised they had $1.1 billion market cap, and Unification raised like $1.2 million, and they're doing the exact same thing, but actually are almost finished with their mainnet in Q4. So that's one of those ones you got diamond in the rough, if you might say. Is definitely the diamond that you may not have ever heard of, because they don't waste money, they do it properly. Okay, so Monero, I'll take a couple more. So Monero and ENG. So let's do those two, and then I'll let you guys go for the day. ENG, BTC, where are we going with that? Wow, it had a nice pump. It's definitely dumped down a bit, which is fine. We saw that a lot of these coins pumped with this USA announcement. I wonder if I actually drew this before, so let's see how it played out. So it bounced off the 618, which is very common. It got up to the 236, and now it's come back down to this 50% retrace. It might double bottom on that. It might come back down and test the 0618 before it moves on another leg up. But it still looks, in my opinion, it doesn't look bearish yet. It's just look for an opportunity to get in. But if this closes, for example, because we're on the daily, if the daily closes below this candle right here, that's a 3 inside down, and I would look to see this one come for a full retrace, potentially all the way back down to the bottom here. So keep your eyes on that. But Enigma's got secret smart contracts coming out, lots of really positive things, so that's beautiful. How many pips did you make on that, Steven, on that trade? That sounds friggin' like you did really well on that one. And Monero, XMR, Monero's been doing quite well as far as I've looked recently. And let's look at it. It's hard to check against BTC because most stuff hasn't done well against BTC because BTC's pumping. When we look at it in a different perspective, like this one, shows a lot different it's been showing a lot different. So from March, I don't know why it's not showing before that, but from March when they added it, Monero's been on a tear. It's up 119% since March, and I would have got in, and it's hard to say because I don't know why this chart doesn't have any more information on it, but you would got right here would have been a great entry. So this is a really bullish TK cross, shot up. See it move right up over there, and then it kind of dumped because our future was actually not looking so great. But here's the really cool thing about using your Kijin. Okay, Kijin is like a 50% retrace everywhere you go. Here's something cool. We had a tweezer bottom, and then it just exploded. So I would have got in on this trade when we had the tweezer bottom, and once this closed, I wouldn't even probably got in on that first candle because I would have waited for it to close. Then I would have gotten on this candle, and I would have just gotten last 6 days you'd be up 20%. And this doesn't look like it's stopping. Fractals are still getting higher. They're all moving up. This is moving up, 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 up. So we're not getting lower. It doesn't seem like we're gonna stop anytime soon. So Kijun, Kijun, Kijun. So this is the Kijun, guys. This is always when you're using Ichimoku. This is your 50% retrace line, and so it usually bounces off that level. So I'll give you some other examples of that in this exact same chart. It's that easy to show you. Here's the Kijun right here. So here we came down, we bounced off, it kept moving up. Here we came down, we bounced off, it kept moving up. Here you can see it on the other side as well. Let me just find some other momentum here. So here we can use it as support and resistance, right? So here, the price was trying to come back up, bounced off the Kijun, bounced off the Kijun, bounced off the Kijun. Then it closed above, and then I would have gotten that trade, right? That's when you're supposed to get in. When we cross below the Kijun, you get out of the trade, right? So actually, sorry, you didn't get out. This is Tenkin. So Tenkin and Kijun. So you would have looked at it, you would have thought maybe I should get out, and it would bounce right there, and bounce right there, and then when it closed down here, you may have got stopped out, because usually you stop out, you put your stop loss a little bit. So we can go into that a lot longer. It's going to take forever for you to understand all of it, but that's what it is. So your Tenkin and your Kijun, when they cross, it's one type of trade. When you go into the cloud, it's another type of trade. It takes a little bit of time to learn, but I will be definitely teaching you guys a little bit on the way as we go. So one of your best indicators in your top 30 would be the Ichimoku. I would definitely say so. And here's another thing. I'll show you something really cool, guys. Let me turn off everything except for the Kijun. This sometimes can help you understand how easy this is. You just turn everything off. Okay, so let's say I just turn off everything, right? Let's choose another coin. Let's choose BTC. Okay, so let's look at the Kijun, right? So this is like your forever 50% retrace. Look at how beautifully it bounces off this level, right? So bounce, of course here, not so much, but if we go on a daily, it's even more accurate. So on a daily, you can see it super clearly. And when it goes below, it usually as resistance. But when Bitcoin's been super bullish. So, but look, bounce off the Kijun, bounce off the Kijun. Broke below, you would have got stopped out. You would have waited for this candle, got in and bounced off the Kijun. And then here you would have got stopped out again. You would have got in somewhere around here. And look at that, bounce off the Kijun. Here you may have got stopped out by that scam wick, which we all remember, I think, which was, this is, oh, sorry, that's in December, so no. We can go a little bit further ahead. But yeah, we have this bounce off the Kijun, bounce, 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 and then we blew up. That was March to April when we had that, when I kept saying April, and everyone asked me why. And then on the other side, when we saw it coming, we had this downtrend, it bounced off the Kijun down, bounce 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 off the Kijun down, and then all of a sudden we break through, you get in the trade, ranges and explodes, and ever since then we haven't even come close. This was the scam wick we had where it went to 6,800 or 6,380. Other than that, we've just been on this parabolic movement pretty much. I mean, this is what you're seeing is a parabolic movement. It's a beautiful thing to watch, completely honest. I like watching parabolic movements because they're really beautiful. But I mean, ever since we got we looked around February and I was telling everyone we're at the bottom, this has just been on the parabolic move. Like, look at that perfectly. So, you know, we're not stopping yet. I mean, we probably will test this area right here, but we have no stopping us. There's no quit. It just bounce. It just keeps going. Bounce. Will we see it come back down? I mean, maybe 11K and it come back down, maybe 10K, but yeah, it's huge. But yeah, if Steven's right, if you use your Ichimoku, guys, I'm actually making a course right now on how to use it, and it's really something that if you study and you take time, it becomes super easy to actually trade on your own. And it's something that I've used to help my trading out, and I think all of you guys could use that to help your own. So just remember that education is the most important part of all this stuff. Taking time, doing it yourself, learning how to actually trade on your own, and not listening to all the noise and everything that's out there. When people are saying this is going to happen and don't show you a chart, don't listen to them. They're saying, oh, it's going to dump. They don't tell you why. They don't show you why. Don't listen to them. They're going to cause you to lose money every time. And so, yeah, I think you're thinking 11.7 and after 10K, yeah? Very, very possible, and it could happen this weekend, guys. So the weekends are very bullish usually in Thailand right now. Usually when I wake up tomorrow morning, which is like tomorrow morning will be Friday evening for you guys in the States. That's usually when we start to see the movement. So I'll probably look for an opportunity tonight to get back into a trade if we don't retrace at all. But I was thinking that we would, and it's a very valid point that I had here. My other trader friends were saying. I'm just going to turn this back on so you can see what I'm talking about, so you know I'm not just saying it to say it. So let me just turn all these bad boys back on. Okay. So I was thinking we might test this area, this 95.60 area, the Tenkan bounce. But the reason why I said that is because the volume started to drop down here, but our price was going up, which is a divergence in price to volume. So that's why I was thinking if right here we were going up, but right here from that exact same time we were going down, especially on the hourly, I was thinking we might see it come back down. So it might retrace, but if it does, then this might not happen as well, because Bitcoin's really does its own shit. It doesn't care about what you think. It doesn't care if you have feelings. So just remember that. But I'm thinking it might come down to this level, and then we'll go on the weekend towards that 10K range, and potentially even all the way up 11. But that might be a stretch for the weekend. I don't think it'll get that high. I'm more thinking if we did get there, it'd be like 10-3 by the end of the weekend. But yeah, it's hard to say because we don't know the future. And that's something that's a fact. We all don't know the future. Can't say where we're going or not going. But it does align really nicely with the with our Fibonacci Fibonacci extension here. So it lines up nicely. It could be down to the 94, 97, 96.50, but somewhere in that range. And then getting up, look at that perfect number, 10,000, 1,400. So we're looking pretty good. But yes, this 11.3 everyone's talking about, what Steven's saying, right there. 11.3 right there. That's where we're trying to aim for before we have some type of retracement. You're saying 11.7? Oh, that would be the next one that I don't have on here. But yeah, and then very likely what will happen, but not guaranteed, if we did get up there, we're going to see that big retracement. Maybe only down to this 8,000, maybe down to 7,000. But that'll probably happen over summer if it happens. At this point, I'm not even convinced we could have that happen, but I'm watching the markets, and so should you. Flip your bias, guys. If you're bearish and the market shows you bulls, go with the bulls. If you're bullish and the market starts turning and showing us that it's going to go bearish, you know, do what you got to do to be safe. But that's all I got to say for today. It's been a nice time with you all. I'll be on again Monday. So every Monday and Friday, you'll see me here. And yeah, I'll be at a conference this week coming, and it's my birthday on Wednesday, so wicked. So I'll see you guys soon. Have yourselves a great day. It's Coach K here. Share, like, subscribe, get all the people out there to learn, and yeah, I'll have a great day, everybody. See you guys. Have a great weekend, and don't let the wrecked bugs bite. All right, everyone, I'll leave you with that. Don't feel like this anymore. Start to feel like this. All right. Are we in a bull market? You tell me. Does it look like one? It sure does to me. How would this not be a bull market? Let me ask you that question. Because ever since I started telling you guys that we're in a bull market, everyone said we're not. But look where we're at right now. You tell me, are we in a bull market? Sure as hell looks like it to me. It sure as hell looks like it to me. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks, Dan. You guys will see it pop up and everything. But yeah, great seeing you guys. Hope you guys have a great day. Coach K signing out. Have a great weekend, everybody. And if you need me or you want me or anything, t.me, Athena Project is the channel. And yeah, engage. You can find me on Facebook, on Twitter, at Joel Kofshoff, or on Telegram at Joel_Coach K. All right? Have yourselves a good one. See you later, everybody.